Hi, my name's Jon Bail. I'm the general manager of Northfork Composites. We're here on the North Fork of the Lewis River, basically a couple hundred yards from our plant here in Woodland, Washington, USA. And I'm joined by Victor Garvyshoff from VMG International Business Solutions. And we're excited to announce a new line of prototype rods that we've been working on, and they're going to be debuted at the Kiev show in Ukraine for the first time later this month.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, and my pleasure to join you. And we're trying even cast a couple lures and see how those rods perform. That's very new rods built with Gary Loomis, with using his composites, and put together for our partners in Ukraine and later on in Russia. I'm very pleased to hold these rods in my hand and try them very first time, and I very pleased all put together. But I have a few questions for you, John. Would you explain us a little bit about this particular rod?
This particular rod?
Yep.
Well, when we had started talking with you, Victor, about what you're looking for, you wanted a split grip, and we took very precise measurements. You wanted, for guys that use 2 fingers, for this to be, I believe it is 10.5 inches from the back of the reel foot to the edge of the rod, and that's because this should sit in the forearm area. This reel seat is made by Batson. It's an Alps reel seat. It's a triangle reel seat, and you can see a couple of things about this seat that make it a little bit unique. One is it's got a triangle design to it, so your reel doesn't move at all once you lock it in there. It's on a surface that allows it to just lock down real solid. Now it won't move at all. The other thing is, it's a very comfortable reel seat. It sits in your hand really nicely. It's got a good feel. You asked for a short forecork, so you get your fingers up there like so. We've got hook keepers that are out of the way so that the cast never loops over it. It's also a hook keeper that is more of a drop shot style hook keeper. So if you're fishing a drop shot technique and you've got a weight to do instead of a hook, you can just loop it through the like so, tighten up the line, and it'll sit right so. Each one of these rods has a number of different guide configurations. There are 4 basic models of the blank, and then we tied them up differently per your instructions. We've got some that have Batson Alps guides, which is the top of the line Batson product. Good high performance guide. Gotten very good reviews, got excellent durability ratings in all the tests that have been conducted on it. Now this rod we built to your specs. You wanted us to use Black Pearl RECs. There's no insert on these guides, so if you're traveling, before you travel, if you want to check, make sure the guide is good, there's nothing that's going to fail on this guide. You're not going to have a ring that's going to pop out. It's not going to groove in the course of a week trip. So if you're a destination angler and you're going someplace important, you want to make sure you're able to fish your rod and you don't have a ring pop out, REC is a real good solution. The other thing that's unique about RECs is this is memory nickel titanium. And you should be able to do this, I'm told, about 10,000 times. So now 9,999. And that's real helpful if you get it caught on the side of the boat or in and out of rod tubes. If it just does this, you could end up snapping off a guide that's a traditional guide like this, but you're not going to have that problem with REC recoils. The handle is different on this one. The reel seat is a Fuji reel seat with a screw down handle. So when it's all said and done and you've got your reel on there, you don't see any threads. And it's a very comfortable handle. It's a little bit tricky to build because you have to have this winding check actually glued to the cork instead of the rod, because this whole thing floats. It comes all the way up so you can stick your reel in there. But it's a very comfortable handle. It's a nice look too. So we have high hopes that the anglers are going to be happy with this one as well. We did a couple of different things on this rod. We use a pack bay reel seat here. It's really better suited for smaller reels, like a 2000 or a 1500 would be a better spinning reel for here. The foot is a little bit big on a 2500 for this seat, but it's a clean look, and we give that option for the anglers. The other thing we did on this rod that I'm curious as to what the feedback will be is, instead of having either the RECs or the Alps guides, these have Fuji titaniums. And a lot of people consider these to be one of the finest guides in the industry, and we'll see what the feedback is on these. They're a beautiful looking guide, and the line travels very nicely through them. So I have high hopes for this lineup.
So John, but I know that what's made the rod is everything important, but most important part of the rod, it's a blank. Would you tell us a little bit about Northfork's blanks?
Before you can have a great rod, you've got to have a great foundation. And so these blanks that we've got here, we've got 3 different models, were specifically made for your market, based on what you told us you needed. They have extra fast tips to fit your style of fishing, and various different lure and line rating on each of the 3 of these to cover a broad variety of fishing spectrums. These happen to be made out of our IM material, which is an intermediate modulus. It's a 42 million modulus with a relatively high strain rate. And it's a great compromise between an HM material, which is going to be a high modulus, high strain rate, but it's going to have not a whole lot of impact resistance. So if you bang it on the side of the boat, you're going to be done. If you drop it and it hits a sharp rock, it won't break at that point. But when you go to make your cast or land your next fish or put it under load, it's going to break at that point. An SM material that we use is a lower strain rate, lower modulus, but it's a lot more impact resistant. So if you bang it on a boat, it's going to take a lot more of that kind of abuse. The IM is that intermediate blend of performance and impact resistance. So anglers are going to be able to treat these as if they're fishing tools and not as heirlooms, and still be able to get top performance out of them. They'll be able to feel the sensitivity all the way down into their handles. These blanks. Currently, there's only one model that's in 2-piece, and that's this one, but the other 2 models, we can make those in 2-piece, and one of the best things about working with Gary Loomis is anything is possible. So everything that we do, and we have a tremendous advantage because of our equipment that Gary's hand designed to make sure that it is made specifically for rolling blanks, not something you just bought off the machinery line of someone else. That gives us a tremendous advantage in that it rolls blanks at a much greater pressure. And as a result, we're able to offer a lighter blank than our competitors and a more dense blank, which is going to mean it's going to be stronger as well.
But when I approached Gary to give us same action, same sensitivity for 2 pieces, he cut me off. He said, "Victor, I don't like to cut corners." And right now, Gary working on our 2 pieces rods in his shop for next delivery to bring specifications what our anglers in Russia and Ukraine want, and I like that.
That brings up a point I do want to share with your potential customers. If there's ever any question about whether a rod originated at the Gary Loomis Northfork Composites plant, you can email me and give me the serial number that's on the rod, and I will tell you who you should have bought that from. Only authorized dealers are listed on our website. VMG will be on our Northfork Composites website and our Edge website, and only those dealers that are listed there carry genuine Northfork products.
Thank you very much, John. I'm pleased with our meeting today, and we enjoying weather. We on a boat, and let's go fishing.